Have you ever wondered if buying coffee on a daily is keeping you broke? I'm here to tell you, yes, in fact, your daily coffee is keeping you broke. Well, it's not that simple. We do know that grabbing daily coffee, whether it's to go to work, maybe some people are going to workouts, coming back from workouts, has become almost like a ritual for people. They cannot imagine a day where they don't grab coffee from whichever store that they typically go to before going to work. It has become a symbol of the modern hustle and a quick indulgence just to jumpstart the day. These small and seemingly innocent, mindless spending habits can over time really impact our finances. And we often overlook these habits because of what they represent, a broader issue of convenience-driven financial decisions. And these behaviors unfortunately keep a lot of people from reaching their financial goals. So let's talk about it. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I Am Patience, and on this channel we have conversations about society's impacts on our lives and our finances and how we can take back that power and make more intentional decisions that will positively impact our life and our finances and put us on a path towards financial independence and financial freedom. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Let's delve straight into this topic of, yes, your daily coffee is keeping you broke. While the act of buying coffee is small, its cumulative financial impact is significant. And what makes it particularly problematic is that it often feels inconsequential, right? It's such a small cost. What is $5, $10 going to do if I just buy a coffee? Leading people to overlook its role in preventing them from saving for larger financial goals. A lot of people are like, oh, people are saying that my daily coffee and buying avocado toast is what's keeping the young people poor. And it's like, no, it's rent, car payments, it is student loans. And all of that can be true, and so can your daily coffees. But like I said, I'm just using this as a simple. I'm not talking about just your daily coffee, and I'm not telling you to stop. You might want to reduce it if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or if you're in a dire financial situation. We're gonna get into all of that, but it's just a symbol. So let's go into other symbols of these indulgences that adds to the overall impact. And one of the first ones is eating out. A lot of people like to enjoy a meal or two, and sometimes every meal out. And it's like, come on, you all, that is way too much. Eating out is not for health purposes. It is not to feed your body. It's entertainment. It is an expensive way of eating. And if you think that it is not, please watch my Simply Cooking videos where I actually prepare meals from scratch. I do it in an affordable way. And these are healthy meals that actually nourish your body. Because going to grocery store, especially for a single person, does not have to cost you $500 plus per month. You can actually do it for $200 to $300. And I implore you to actually take the actions to look at your budget. How much are you spending on groceries? How much are you spending eating out? And make the cuts as you need. Because if you're spending $5 or $10 on breakfast and an additional $10 to $20 on lunch, you're spending way too much money every single day. And let's say that you're even doing it cheaply and you're only spending $15 per day, 5 days a week on purchasing breakfast and lunch. That is still $3,900 at the end of the year. And that's the thing, even if you eat out on most meals, you're still gonna have to go to the grocery store and still purchase things to keep in your fridge. So not only are you bearing the cost of eating out consistently, but then the cost of the groceries that you purchase for your house. And if you purchase groceries and don't eat them, then you're even wasting more money. The second item is subscriptions galore. How many subscriptions do you have? I've been seeing those advertisements for Rocket Money where they'll be like, can you guess how many subscriptions that you have? And people be like, oh, I have like 3, 4, 5. And it turned out they have like 10, 15 subscriptions. What are you subscribing to? And I know that we live in the subscription economy where everybody wants you to subscribe to everything, from movies, music, food, clothes, shoes, perfumes, everything that you can think about, they ask you to subscribe. But go through it and ask yourself, do I need 3, 4, 5 movie and TV show streaming services? You really don't. I have one and I keep that one. If I want to go to another one, I cancel the one that I have and I move it over. Do you really need Apple Music, Spotify, Shazam, and whatever 4 or 5 different music streaming services? No, it's the same music on all of them. And let's say one has more music that you like versus the other one, just have one at a time. Don't need 100 different streaming services, and that's an exaggeration. People do have on average about 10 subscriptions going on at any given time, and in my opinion, that's a lot. The next thing is gym membership, specifically unused gym membership. You'll be surprised how at the beginning of the year, a lot of people went and signed up for the gym and they don't go, or overpriced gyms. If you are a beginner and you're trying to get back into fitness, personally, I think you start at home. Just start watching exercise videos at home on your own convenient time. Just go ahead, pop it in morning or evening or both, and get on that habit before you spend money going to the gym. Even worse is people who are paying $200, $300, $500 per month for a gym that they don't go to. At that point, what is the use? Start at like a $10, $20 gym and then move up the ranks as you get more into it. When you know that you're going consistently and you are in fact committed to it, then you make that move. But don't go for the fanciest gym because it is some sort of a status symbol, a conspicuous consumption. And so you can say, oh, I go to this gym, I go to Equinox, but you actually don't go. You just have a membership there. Next is impulse shopping. The number of people who fall for impulse shopping on the internet, just browsing, nowadays, that's how a lot of people fall. Window shopping is not what it used to be because people are not even leaving their house to go window shopping. They're instant window shopping on the internet and they fall for the trap. They see something and then they purchase it. As an engineer who is currently reading so many books on analytics and how to increase sales in this internet age and economy, I can confidently tell you that a lot of the websites that you go to are keeping data and they know people who are exactly like you and what will appeal to you and people like you. That's why when you often purchase things from a website or you look at something, they would say people also liked, and then you happen to also like that item a lot of the time because the algorithm is getting really good at building a profile on you. So every time you go on the websites, even to browse, you're going to find something that is really going to be tempting to purchase. Stop impulse purchasing, make a budget, stick to the budget, and be more intentional in the way you spend money rather than just impulse purchasing things. And another thing is convenience fees. And this can come in many ways, shapes, or forms. So one of it is, for example, somebody sends you money on Cash App and you want to get that money immediately. So you pay to have that cash instantly. And I personally never do that. I would wait 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't care if it's a weekend. I will wait for that money because I just don't want to pay for that convenience fee. But it could be that for delivery. So you order something and you want it immediately. Even though you can wait, it'll be like, oh, free shipping if you wait 5 days. But you're like, no, I want it tomorrow. So instead, you pay $9.99 in order to get that item 4 days early, even though you probably don't need it and you can wait a few days to get it. It can also come in the form of not wanting to take your water to work. So instead, you get the water from the vending machine, or you don't take your lunch to work. So instead, you purchase from the cafeteria. All of these conveniences so that you don't have to prepare are all symbols of the daily coffees keeping you poor. And over time, $1, $2, $10, they all add up to become hundreds and even thousands of dollars over the course of the year. So let's talk about the cost of the convenience and the opportunities you lose because of them. Because the real danger here lies in the opportunity cost. What are you saying no to because you said yes to these daily symbols? So let's go back to that coffee example. You're purchasing coffee anywhere from $3 to $6. And now I think that's even considered cheap. There are people who are out here getting coffee for $10 and even smoothies for $20. So I'm being very reasonable. Purchase coffee every day, 5 days a week to go to work. And that's $15 to $30 per week. And that's equivalent to $780 on the low end to $1,560 on the high end just for your daily coffee. And over the course of a decade, that is $7,800 on the low end to over $15,000 on the high end. And that's not even accounting for inflation and the opportunity cost of not investing that money. Had you saved that money and invested it? Because had you invested that money, the low end of $780 per year over the next 10 years, that is almost $13,000 at the end of those 10 years. And on the higher end of $1,560, you're looking at close to $25,000 had you invested that money. And this is giving it a very average return of 10%. And this opportunity cost is even bigger as time goes on. From ages 20 to 60, which is over 40 years, you're looking at losing out on over $400,000 to almost $800,000 just because of $3 to $6 per day. A lot of people like to talk about how they don't have any money to save for retirement, but see how $3 to $6 over 40 years affects your retirement savings. If you're putting this in a Roth IRA, you have anywhere from $400,000 to $800,000 of tax-free money. And that may not seem like enough to retire. But when you look at the median account balance of people retiring today, they don't even have that much. A lot of them, a big percentage of them would wish they had such an amount of money for retirement. And these habits not only erode your finances, but they also limit your ability to save for retirement, invest in a home, or build an emergency fund. So let's talk about solutions to these habits. What can you do to put yourself on a path where you are not being dragged down by these teeny tiny costs that adds up over time?
I went from saving nothing in 2023 to saving 30K in 2024. So if you want to save money in 2025, here is a quick fire of the 10 things I did to save money. The first one is auditing my spending, and this completely changed the way that I see money. The biggest thing it made me realize is that the little things do count, and they are what was breaking our budget. Number 2 is using that audit to cancel any subscriptions that you're not using enough to justify their cost. Last night, I was auditing my spending and saw a charge from Disney Plus, and I had completely forgotten I had resubscribed. Next, I stopped any unconscious habit-based spending. This is things like coffees out every day, takeaway lunch every Friday. Anything that wasn't a conscious active choice, I cut. Number 4 is I spent more on my weekly grocery shop. In my audit, I realized our biggest budget killer was the top-up shops we were doing. So we spend more now on our big grocery shop and limit top-up shops to 1 per week. Number 5 is I started checking op shops or borrowing clothes from friends rather than buying new all the time. Following trends is terrible for your wallet and also terrible for the environment. Number 6 is I stopped telling myself the lie that I needed little treats in order to be happy. And rather than chasing that dopamine hit of tapping my card, I found it from more genuine, long-lasting sources. Number 7 is I unfollowed people on social media whose lives look completely different to mine. Influencers are in a different tax bracket to you, so if you try and make your life look like theirs, you're going to be broke. Number 8, my husband and I set really ambitious financial goals, such as paying off our mortgage, and we work on it together. Number 9 is that we started completing regular no-spend challenges. The best part about this is we found that we didn't feel deprived, and in fact, we felt more mentally clear than ever before. And number 10, I stopped being afraid to talk about money.
Because like I said, the daily coffee, it doesn't necessarily make or break the average person, but it's all the other things that come together that really adds up. Like look at that $3 to $6 per day and what effect it had over a long-term period. Now consider that it was $30 per day that you were wasting. You saw that $400,000 to $800,000 you're missing out on. You're missing out $4 million to $8 million by wasting $30 a day. And that's very easy. If you spend $10 on breakfast and $20 on lunch, you've already hit your limits and you've not even eaten dinner yet. So one of the first solutions is to make your meals at home. You cannot convince me to this day that eating out is cheaper than making food at home. And as a person who avidly eats at home and I only eat out for social purposes, for example, if some friends wants to go out once in a while, I don't overdo it. Or if I'm on vacation, I can truly tell you beneficial for your finances and for your health as well. Getting the habits of meal prepping. And if you don't know what to prep, you don't know how to cook, check out my YouTube channel. All on this channel where I have my series Simply Cooking, where I cook simple meals that you can eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even dessert. That will save you a ton of money. Getting that habit. And if you don't know how to cook, who cares? You have to start somewhere. We all start somewhere. And these steps are so easy that it's hard to mess up. So try again, and over the long run, you will be a better cook and certainly save a ton of money. And just number 2, a little caveat, that includes your daily coffee as well. Make your daily coffees at home or teas. I'm not a coffee person. I do prefer teas, green tea to be specific. Meal prep that as well. I just prep in the morning. I use my green tea leaf with some water, a little honey, and some lemon as well. And it's delicious, and I just save myself a ton of money. Sometimes I even add a little ginger in there to give it a little kick. Third solution is to audit your subscription. That's one of the easiest things that you can save money on almost immediately. Go through your credit card statements if you typically use your credit card to sign up for these, and see all the subscriptions that you have. Write them down and start canceling them. You can live without a lot of them. You can find a lot of entertainment, by the way, on YouTube. I think YouTube is one of the most entertaining places on the internet. So if you need to cancel all your subscriptions for now, for music and movies, come on YouTube, okay? There's so much you can find. You can find the free music and free entertainment and premium entertainment, by the way, just like my video. The fourth solution is to set some spending limits. I do this all the time. I'm currently on a spending limit. I am not purchasing anything that I can live without for the most part. I am staying the course, and I'm excited to see what I can accomplish. And the fifth and one of the most important thing is to plan ahead. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So make sure that you set a budget, and when you're going somewhere, ask yourself, what are the possible ways I can be spending money and wasting money that I can avoid? For me, it's always taking water wherever I go. I know that if I go out, sometimes a bottle of water that I can get for free or for like maybe 25 cents if I just use my water filter, I'm gonna go out there and pay $1 $1.50, $2, and even sometimes $5. What can I do to combat this? Simple. Just bring my water along. So if I'm going to a place where I know they do not have free water, I always carry my water bottle in my purse. Except for the airport, you know, they're gonna get you anyway. So for the airport, what can you do about it? Nothing, right? And also check the weather. Like the fact that people go out without checking the weather and then they get outside and now they need an umbrella, and that's when the people who sell the umbrella always like have the most umbrellas because they came prepared because they knew you would not be prepared. So you purchase $10 an umbrella even though you already have like 3-4 umbrellas at home. So go prepared and do all that you can to ensure that you're not having to purchase something because you did not prepare. And make sure that you just try your best to always stay prepared. If you're traveling, carry the things that you need so you don't have to get there and purchase overpriced items just because you didn't bring your own shower gel or you didn't bring your own lotion when you have plenty at home. So be prepared and you will not be spending frivolously on things that you never plan to buy anyway. And for this last portion, let's talk about how to use savings strategically and wisely. Because when you save money from these goals, you should redirect them to something useful and something that puts you in a better financial situation than you already are in. The first one is an emergency fund. You can probably guess this one if you've been watching my channel for a while. But a 3 to 6 month emergency fund is the way to go. This ensures that if anything happens, you will be able to at least have 3 to 6 months to figure it out. If your car broke down, you have money to purchase a car. And that's why I always advise that if your 3 to 6 month emergency fund is less than $10,000, at least try to get to that $10,000 and keep it in at minimum a high yield savings account so you can be earning that interest on it. Because $10,000 is enough money to help you through not just a few months of expenses, but most big expenses that come along that you didn't even plan for. For example, if your car broke down, $10,000 is enough to at least be a down payment on a car or to buy you a decent car that you can use for a while. But also if something happened and you had to move out of your apartment or your house, $10,000 is more than reasonable to keep you afloat for, you know, several months depending on where you're living and to take away that stress so that you can figure out what's the next step. So if you're cutting these things out, redirect them to your emergency fund. The next thing you can redirect it to is definitely your retirement savings. I talked about putting that money into your Roth IRA. Every little bit counts. And this is especially true because for the year 2025, you can max out $7,000 and that money can help you reach that. To max out, you have to average about $583.33 per month, but you don't have to get to that maximum contribution. Any amount that you put in there will help you in the long run. And because you're also saving this money after tax, you can rather increase your pre-tax savings, such as your Roth or traditional 401k and your HSA, and increase the contribution to those accounts. Now, unfortunately, I think for the HSA, you can't just go in and change your contribution without something happening. Like it's not something I can just go in and adjust, at least not for my job. We typically make these elections like the year prior. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of this if you're switching jobs or towards the annual enrollment time period. But if you're 401k, you can typically go in any day that you want and adjust it. So adjust it to contribute more. Another thing you can redirect this money into is debt repayment. I would say that this is the best place that you can put this money, especially high interest debts. I'm not talking about just a mortgage. I'm talking about credit card debt, student loan debt, personal loan. This is a great place to redirect that money to because it's going to save you so much money on interest and beyond making that minimum payment. Even if you're only saving $10 a day and redirecting that money and paying off your credit card $10 a day just to symbolize that I said no to coffee, I'm saying yes to debt repayment, you will see how much impact that would have. When I did that for my car, every time I got paid, whatever money that was supposed to go to anything discretionary, I will always put it towards my car payments. And in the end, on an almost $30,000 car loan, I paid less than $170 in interest. That was because I paid consistently. And whenever I said no to frivolous spending, I said yes to paying off my car, and I went and made that transaction almost immediately, and it helped a lot. And you can also redirect this towards other bigger financial goals, such as purchasing a house. When you're about to purchase a house, you have to demonstrate a pattern of savings. So that means that not only just one time saving for your down payment on a house, but consistently saving for the down payments on your house. You can do this by redirecting the money that you save to a high yield savings account that you're using for the down payments of your home and consistently contributing to it. And this will show that you're a person with the habit of saving, and when it's time to purchase a house, you will have a great amount of money to put as a down payment and not be struggling trying to think, where can I get the down payment? That is not the best place to be, especially when you have a more sustainable option. And the last but absolutely not the least is just regular investment. You can open a taxable brokerage brokerage account. If this is money that you want to access in the near future, so you don't want to put it into retirement or just keep it into a high yield savings account and it's separate from your emergency fund, you can open a taxable brokerage account and also invest it. But you can also invest in yourself and invest in things that you want to do, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, whether you want to start a small business, so you need to start saving money to kickstart that business, or you want to go to school, get a certification. These are all ways that you can redirect that money. Even though it seems small, it adds up to something greater over time. And with all that said, let's bring this video to a conclusion. Breaking a cycle of mindless spending requires self-awareness and intentionality. By recognizing how small routine habits like buying daily coffees or eating out is draining your wallet, you can take steps to regain control of your finances. Small changes such as brewing your coffee or preparing meals at home can lead to significant savings. When those savings are redirected into meaningful goals like retirement accounts, investments, or home down payments, the long-term benefits are undeniable. Your financial future is shaped by the habits that you build and sustain today. Choosing discipline over convenience can really transform your life, leading you to achieve stability, security, success, and wealth. And with that, I'm bringing this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching this. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Let me know in the comment section, what is your daily coffee and what has it cost you, and how are you regaining that power? Where are you going to redirect this money to, and how do you hope it shapes your financial future? And I look forward to reading your comments. Come back Tuesday for my Simply Cooking series, and come back next Friday for another conversation on personal finance. Thank you all again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.